Well, thank you very much for joining us for this special conversation here on Joy Sports and on Joy Prime and Joy News. We're building up to the 13th Africa Games, Accra 2023, and we're looking forward to hopefully getting the best in terms of organization and a showpiece that will be a template, just like in 2008 when Ghana hosted the Africa Cup of Nations and got the whole continent talking. And of course was the template based on which Angola also hosted the 2010 edition of the tournament. Years down the line, Ghana is tasked with this responsibility, which is coming for the very first time when it comes to the big multi-sport event. How are we preparing ourselves for this one? Recently, the president of Ghana, commissioned the Botiman Sports Complex, which will have a very big element of the indoor games and some outdoor games as well. And as we are speaking, we're just looking at when the organizing team or the local organizing committee will get these facilities tested adequately ahead of the start of the games, and the official opening ceremony on March 8th of this year. Well, here with me for a conversation as we build up to Africa Games 2023 is Mr. Samson Deen. Mr. Samson Deen, as we all know, is the president of the African Paralympic Committee and also the local head of the Paralympic movement here in Ghana, and has a very big track record when it comes to sports tourism, a specialist area which he's practiced in for many years. He has been tasked with the responsibility of leading the Transportation Sub-Committee of the local organizing committee for the Africa Games. And his duty is to ensure that there's a good and reliable transportation network which will be of massive efficiency to ensure the smooth movement of athletes and officials from place to place. Good to see you again, President.
Thank you, citizen, my brother.
Yeah, everything okay. Well, it's been good, And of course, I have to congratulate you again for the organization of the very first African Paralympic Games. It was a build-up to this one, and yourself and the team organized it very well.
Yeah, thank you very much, and I will also have to say a very big thank you to you.
Thank you.
Because you've always been a good brother. You've been guiding us behind the scenes, telling us what to do right and all that, especially with publicity, and with your experience by participating in many games. I think that we have always listened to you, and it's what we are building up with this particular African Games upcoming. So I will say a big thank you to you, and thank you to your audience for giving us this opportunity.
Great. Now, the Transportation Subcommittee. Yeah. I have this brochure here, very well authored and very comprehensive as well, has specific details of allocation of vehicles, the type of vehicles that will be used and all of that. We'll be getting into that as well. But before that, I want you to walk me through how things have gone in terms of trying to get this particular aspect of the logistics right and, getting it organized, for the games.
Thank you very much. A very good morning to everyone, your viewers. It has been a very difficult job. I need not say it's easy. It's difficult. I'm happy to be one of many Ghanaians, but one of the few to have gotten the opportunity to help us organize the 13th African Games, which is the first of its kind as a Olympic multi-purpose or multi-sport event ever to happen on our soil here in Accra and Cape Coast. Preparation, I would say, we have to be grateful to the government of the Republic. They have been supportive. The LOC, chaired by Dr. Kwaku Fosu-Asare, we've been working day in, day out, 24/7 to see that we manage the games in a way that at the end of the tournament, Ghanaians and the world will say this was, wow, a very successful event. The area that I am providing services to the public and the visiting guests, VIPs and everyone, is transportation. And I'm happy that you did an introduction by letting people know my expertise in the travel and sports tourism industry. I think that the leadership of the LOC and the ministry realized my capabilities and made sure that I'm putting at the right place. I'm grateful to them, and I want to use this your platform to assure Ghanaians and the world watching that I will do my best. I will listen. I will be guided by the rules of the requirements as being spelled out by the games guideline to make sure that we provide the best transport services for the games.
Well, I also do realize that you have quite a strong team, you know, quite a number of experienced individuals on the team.
Yeah.
Tell me about your team. You know,
yes, you know, I'm happy that you made mention of the African Para Games. That is the first ever multi-sport event ever in Ghana. And it really gave us a lot of experience. We use that as a platform to learn a lot. Not just participation, that I've been to many games, so that one I go in as a participant. But this one, I was so much involved in the organization. So I was able to fish out some key and reasonable people within the scheme of work and the scope of work during the time. And I am happy to say I have, in the person of Mr. Ignatius Elete, a very strong and experienced sports administrator to look at the administrative work and also look at the activities that went on during the Para Games to lead as an administrator of my subcommittee. I have Foster, who is also a travel expert. I have Majid Eldin, who is my younger brother. I've trained him from childhood. He has been doing transport services with STC and all the transport companies from the university way after when he came and joined my company. Very experienced guy in that field. I have Dede, who is one of my secretaries. She has been working with me for 5 years. She really understands how I work and all that. We have Patrick, who is an architect by profession, but he is able to look at the landscape of Accra to tell us, okay, this is what we need to do. This is how we have to work it out. And then we have a police officer, who is in the person of Dr. Sasu Mensah from the Ghana Police Headquarters. We have some of them like Xavier, who is also a transport manager. He has been in the transport for quite a long time. We have about 13 membership, and they all come in with different expertise, and we are working favorably well.
Very well. Now, I'm very sure that you were given some timelines and all of that.
Exactly.
As we speak, we're a little close to 20 days to go for this competition.
Yeah.
In fact,
we have some few days. Today is on the 15th, and we have about 12 days for everything to start. As before our show started, I saw South Africa saying they will be arriving on the 27th. We have countries like Morocco arriving on the 25th. They have already sent a delegation here, and they are doing a tour of the Greater Accra region, visiting venues. With a delegation of about 8, they are here now. Egypt came first 2 days ago. Most of the countries who are very prominent when it comes to African sports have already been, they have already arrived and doing a tour of the facilities and all that. We have just 12 days to do this. And as the head of the transport committee, what I am doing is to do a simulation exercise.
Very well.
I have done one, which was just to test, to let our team understand, to bring the media into the activity for them to appreciate the kind of work ahead. And also to let the media understand that we will need your cooperation, and that is the reason why you have invited me here. We are going to do a simulation exercise on the 22nd of February. That is 3 days before the arrival of most of the countries, especially those who are participating in the badminton. Badminton will be the first sport to begin for the championship, and that will be on the 3rd of March. And for that matter, we have about 15 countries who will be arriving by 26, 27 latest to start training for the games. So we are doing a test run on the 22nd. And that test run, we will need about 2,000 volunteers on the ground. We will need on the ground, yes. They will be at key points from the Games Village to Boteman, to Bukum, to Accra, to Achimota, all the designated and Labadi. They will be on the ground, they will be on the streets, and we will be doing a change of time. After every 4 hours, we have to change them. We are doing this, one, to sensitize the public, for the public to know they are there as traffic supporters, just to support us to do the transition properly with regards to the transfers from the venues. And we will have about 600 police officers on the ground as well to help us. We are engaging police, and we are still looking at the special lane for the games. And the special lane, how is it possible? How are we going to do it? We will need the media to help us. Let the public understand that this is the games for the people of Ghana. This is the games for the people of Africa, as Cote d'Ivoire just did. We all saw it. How are we going to cooperate with the LOC to make sure that every Ghanaian, a road user, will now be a national service personnel to help us make sure that the roads are clear. Like you were telling me what your experience in Dubai, that you were saying that the Formula One, as if the people have been informed not to move their cars, so that the Uber and those private companies could be given the opportunity to transfer people to the venue. Exactly, we will get to that point. When we realize that, okay, this is the best way to do, we shall need the national security operatives to help us to send the signal across. We will need the Ministry of Roads, the urban roads, all of them police. So I want to say that it is a very difficult responsibility that we have been given because of the kind of roads we have, the traffic issues. Yesterday I was in a rush with the Moroccan delegation. We had to call a police escort. Immediately, the Ghana Police Service had to give us, and even that one, we have to use the other side of the road to make sure that we reach our destination in time, because we were late throughout in whatever we were doing. Our road is just very difficult, and we shall need the cooperation of the media and every Ghanaian citizen to make sure that we are able to deliver this.
Now, through your work and through your experience, are we still able to operate a bus lane? I mean, immediately you are even thinking, well, this tournament is going to last another 1 month or maximum 6 weeks.
1 month.
Now, are we able to, implement the bus lane again? Because we had it previously. And,
Yes, we will be able to do this if Ghanaians decide to support us. It is only the mentality of the people that, although the time is very short, but we shall need your cooperation. When I say your cooperation, I mean the media, to be able to help us, even if there are no lanes. As soon as the media is able to sensitize the public, to let them identify themselves with the brand of cars that we are using, the colors and everything, that this particular vehicle, when we see them on the road, we have to give them way. We can do that, but we know it will be difficult. But we think that having a lane is the best. The police are looking at it. The national security are engaged and they are looking at it. We pray and hope that we will give these games the best. If the transport collapses, the games has collapsed. You know that transport is the head, the tail of the games. When we have a good transportation system, we have the best of games. And for that matter, we will need the cooperation of every single Ghanaian, to become a national service person, to become a traffic controller, to become a very good citizen at this particular time. From the 27th to the 23rd of March, 2024, we need the cooperation of every Ghanaian to make sure that we provide Africans, the world, the kind of hospitality we always boast of, that Ghanaian hospitality. Let us make it clear that it is true we are still the best Ghanaian to hospitality ever on this earth.
Well, if you just joined us, we're having this conversation with Mr. Samson Deen, who is the chairman of the Transportation Sub-Committee of the local organizing committee for the upcoming Africa Games, to be hosted from here in Accra, Ghana. There is a lot to do in terms of all the logistics that other subcommittees are to provide, but today we're throwing the focus on the Transportation Sub-Committee, which is led by him. Now, let's get now into the little fine details. Yes, you did mention that our roads may not necessarily be in the best of function, but of course, there are some that are also very good and can accommodate these vehicles. As we sit, what else is left of the work of the committee ahead of that big opening ceremony?
Yeah, for us, we are ready. Fortunately for me, we've been able to procure 332 vehicles for the games. And as we speak, they are all going through the branding system. If you go through the parliament, the forecourt of the parliament, you find a lot of vehicles parked there being branded for the games. On my side, I do not have any difficulty. The only thing I have is the awareness. That is why the media subcommittee, we are doing a lot of engagement. Myself, I want to make sure that we do a lot of sensitization, engagement, and then we do our last simulation exercise with the support of the media, the support of the police, the support of national security, and the support of every Ghanaian citizen for us to be able to create that awareness, for us to be able to let the road users understand that this is what we should expect during the games. The vehicles will be moving in a reverse angle. Whilst we are going on that side, another group are coming on that side. So if you have nothing doing in town, I see it that you have to just park your car at home and then try at least to support the African Games.
Interesting stuff there. Now, there are vehicles. And of course, there has been a lot of talk about budget and how we have to be very, being prudent with our spending and all of that. What is the plan? I mean, because I do see different ranges of vehicles. If we all take a look at this, which is the official transportation manual, there is the fine detail of every single vehicle available in the big pool, and that's what I'll be discussing next with Mr. Samson Deen. Okay, so what is the arrangement? I've seen one Ayalolo bus, I've seen another one, I've seen another, 30-seater civilian, bus, Nissan Civilian. There's the Hilux truck. There's a few versions of the VW as well.
So this is how it is. Let's use, for instance, Ghana. Ghana is currently registering about 758 team contingent, team delegation. And by the time of the games, let's say they reduce their number to, let's say, 600.
Okay.
Per the team calculator, then Ghana will need at least two dedicated buses of a 55-seater to transact its business. The chef de mission will be given a saloon car. The chef de mission is the person who manages the team, who is the head of the delegation. During the games, the chef de mission is the boss. The chef de mission is in charge. The minister takes instructions from the chef de mission. It is the chef de mission that is recognized during the games. So each country will send an official named chef de mission, meaning the chief of the mission. So he or she receives number of vehicles, and with a team size like 600, you'll be given two 55-seater buses. And the common one people know in our country is the VIP and Marco Polo kind of, or STC kind of vehicles. Those are the buses. Then we will have one saloon car, one Toyota Hiace, which is a 15-seater vehicle. This is what we are giving to them. Because the African Games is a political in quotes, not like the Olympic Games, which is more of a sports governance controlled. We are giving one saloon car or one mini SUV to every country for their VVIP, most especially 2 days to the opening ceremony and the day after opening ceremony, which is 3. We repeat the same to the end of the game. You are giving one mini SUV for your dignitaries. Why do we do this? It is to recognize the governments of their support to the organization of the games, because these games is birthed by the African Union.
Exactly.
And for that matter, we have that as a requirement to give them recognition. Someone will ask, what will happen to the athletes? The athletes have got a dedicated transport system. And for these games, we have our transport pool from the University of Ghana. The entrance to the Games Village, you see our transport pool, very, very beautiful place. We will have bus shuttles that will be doing transfer to all game competition venues. So an athlete from Nigeria, an athlete from Togo, an athlete from Lome or wherever, depending on the time schedule of training, as directed by the Confederation, The pool, the buses will be at the pool, and it will be shuttling them to these venues. In every 10 minutes, there are buses moving to some key venues. So an athlete or a delegation can just be joined. That is the athlete transport. We also have buses for media. We understand. And during games, we have seen it most of the time. It is not easy for the media to be hiring or renting vehicles. So we are going to provide enough transport. And as we speak, the head of the media committee, the media subcommittee, Dan Kwaku Yeboah, has requested for 10 minibus. And the 10 minibuses will be stationed at the transport pool and will be dispatched to all the venues. And he already has media coordinators for the venues to be able to liaise with the transport committee to make sure that the supply and flow of vehicle will be intact. Somebody will also ask, what about the general public? And that is where Ayalolo comes in. Ayalolo will be doing the public transport. So on the accreditation, as a media officer, you are given a TP code, you are given a TM code, you can join Ayalolo anywhere within the circle of within the area of the games. As soon as you are accredited, you can board Ayalolo at any time. That is if where you are, Ayalolo is the available transport for you. But the media will have its own dedicated vehicles. And then lastly, we have something we call Games Family Hotels. The Games Family Hotels host VIPs and host sports and international sports administrators. This I can say and I can confirm to you that we have some 5 selected hotels whom the accommodation team have indicated to the transport that those are the hotels that we will have to release vehicles at all minutes to make sure that they are able to transfer VIPs from those particular hotels. One of them is Kempinski Hotel, Movenpick Hotel, Accra City Hotel, Alisa Hotel, and Labadi Beach Hotel. These 5 hotels are recognized in our books as the Game Family Hotels. When you are there as a media person, as any kind of accredited personnel, you'll be able to board these vehicles from these particular locations as well. So it's either you are taking it from the venue or you are taking it from this particular recognized and officially accredited hotels. There will be a lot of pool of accommodation, but we shall not be providing transport services to those locations. We'll be doing it from only 5 dedicated dedicated Games Family Hotels. That is it for the transportation.
Wow, interesting stuff there. All right, let's now also get into the needs that you have and how it is also opening up opportunities in the local economy. Now, we've spoken about people who are offering services, for instance, in car rental and all of that.
Yeah.
Tell me about how the story has gone regarding getting the people involved through the usage of their respective outfits to help this agenda.
Yes, what the Transport Subcommittee have done is that the accreditation system has provided us with something we call the Transport Management App. The Transport Management App will engage most of the car rental companies. Some of them have already contacted us, and we are already working with them. What will happen is that because we have to provide proper care and security for the coming guests, we will have some key transportation companies registered in the Transport Management App as our official transport agencies. They will be providing private transport. It's a pay-as-you-go service. So what will happen is that as soon as you are a member or accredited member of the games, you will be able to download the Transportation Management App on your phone, and you can make a request or a booking of your wish at any time. So it takes you automatically to the pool of agencies who have been linked, who have vehicles on the app. As soon as you click on it, it's like the Uber service or Yango service. They will just pick you up and they will send you, because they are dedicated transport agencies who are providing private and commercial business during the games.
I see. All right. Now, when you drive around and you look around, what kind of look and feel are these guests also going to have? Because you see, we're also trying to make a statement within tourism for this particular edition of the Games.
Yeah. I think I agree with you. It's a good question. I think most of the media interactions I've been having, these are the questions they've been putting to me. I am not in charge of the brands and media, but I think that I know that my friend and brother Yao Sechi is putting things together to change the talk around the Games so that the public can have a feel. But we have been able to do some few. On your way from the airport, you can see that we've done some best. If you go into the Legon Stadium, you find we've done something few. But I understand your question. Your question is how we have been feeling when we go to Games. And I think that recently, the one we saw in Ivory Coast is so super. From the airport, you can see the flags, you can see just super. But we are getting there. Yao Sechi and his team are doing well. I know that within the next coming days, they will, by the time people wake up in the morning, they will see a lot of signals that leads to the Games. That the time is now. The Games is about to start. The opening ceremony is on the 8th of March, 2024.
If you just joined me, well, a substantial part of the conversation gone, but we're still on it. The president of the Ghana Paralympic Committee and also president of the African Paralympic Committee, serving as president of the Transportation Sub-Committee of the local organizing committee for Africa Games 2013. Now, we'll be asking him some more questions after these messages. You stay with us on this special conversation that we're having with one member of the Transportation Sub-Committee. He's actually the head, and he's been putting in a lot of work so that the movement of our athletes, especially, and our administrators, will be one that will be very convenient and smooth. Stay right there. We'll be back. All right, thank you very much for staying with us. And we're having a conversation with Mr. Samson Deen, who leads the Transportation Subcommittee of the Africa Games. Now, I want us to look briefly at the road network. We would have to, also single out a few people for commendation. The CEO of Oswald Investments, the wholly owned Ghanaian, construction and engineering company that is handling the road between the Boteman, Games Village and the motorway and also schools, School Junction in Ashalebutwe. I mean, I think he's done a wonderful job and we need to commend him greatly.
Yeah, I think that they've done so well, so well. If you look at how they've been working tirelessly in the last few months, I would say that we are grateful to him. Most especially because I live around the East Legon and then Lashibi enclave. Very well. We are most of the time seen around that area. The movement between the Boteman Stadium and my house at Lashibi is 5 minutes.
I see.
My house at East Legon is about 3 minutes. So if you look at that alone, to me, is the best. And even to move straight from that area, East Legon, you have to hit the motorway. You are off, you are in Accra. That's really reduced the pressure for us. We are grateful to the government for having that vision. One, bringing the Games to Boteman to develop the area and also making sure that the road was well thought of. They really think about it. It's very, very good. And the contractor is just super. The road is not that kind of road where, after the Games, 6 months after the Games, you say that, the road, there is no road again. It will be a rough road with normally potholes and all that. Yeah. The kind of road he is doing, I can say that it's one of the best because at least we are one of the people who have seen roads before. If you remember this company Kasajan, when they were doing the Sunyani Kumasi from airport roundabout to Abu Abu to Araga Junction, those roads the roads are still there, but you can't find one single pothole. For about 30 years now, the roads are still good. I think he should be encouraged to continue and do more. That kind of road is what I have seen. We pray and hope that road users will not be parking trucks, dropping oils and other things on the road. We will not see trucks always moving, using that road and trying to just waste that road for us. And we will encourage him. He should try and make sure that the lines are drawn, the road lines, the markings and everything. The lightings, I don't know whether they have the contract. If they are not, the district assembly, whoever is in charge of the lighting should give us very beautiful lighting system. We do not want to hear that people have gone there and removed the cables in the cables or whatever. If they can do solar, they should do solar. We do not want that excuse where teams will be leaving Boteman around 11 p.m. after competition and the whole place will be darker. We are here to sell Ghana, and we have to sell Ghana beautifully. We have been to games, and we have seen how it is. It is always shining, always beautiful. Even if we have to invest for lighting, we have to invest in decorating the roads leading to Boteman. We have to do that. If we have to go and buy flowers from Brie or Eastern region to come and make sure that the place is beautiful, we have to do that.
Well, now let's also take a look at the facility at Boteman, because it has been the subject of a lot of conversations, especially because of the late start of construction. The president, commissioned the facility. Tell me, from where you sit, I mean, after previewing before all this major public stuff came up, how do you feel about the strategic nature of that facility and how it can eventually help the development of our sport?
Okay, I think in the vision and in the wisdom of the president, whatever the framework is, to me, is excellent. Now, the vision was to construct an Olympic stadium, do a University of Sports and Development and all that. Excellent. Now, if you want to do construction for such facilities, you need not less than 8 years to do that. And for that matter, winning a bid in 2019 and starting construction in 2021, highly impossible to do that. So, the decision by the LOC and the government to upgrade the Legon Stadium, excellent. Accra Sports Stadium cannot be upgraded to an Olympic stadium because we have already destroyed that particular vision during the Cantu 208 construction. EWA can also be used because it's not a standard for an Olympic sport like what we want to do. So the decision to do Legon, excellent. Boteman, the decision to have the multi-sport phase, which should have been the second phase of that project, was an excellent decision. We in the sport industry, we as sports administrators can confirm and we can say that we are happy with the facility that is there. We are extremely happy. We are extremely grateful to the President and the Honorable Minister of Sport, Honorable Mustafa Yusuf, for doing all his best to make sure such a facility was constructed, commissioned within 876 days. 876 days. The brief facts are there. 876 days was used to construct that facility. And we are very happy for it. All what we need to do as citizens is to promote the games, is to make sure that the facility are put in good use and maintenance of it becomes something prominent in the dictionary of the National Sports Authority.
Now, let's talk about issues of legacy. I mean, I know that we haven't even started the tournament proper, but there's also a vision that all of this is going to marry into, which is what the Boteman Sports Complex, these venues, and what this massive infrastructure are going to do for our sport.
You know, before today, I could tell you that Ghana is unable to host a multi-sport. Not you are an organizer of the Para Games because we did it together. You contributed a lot and we made sure that we organized it. You can attest to the fact that we started with a vision of 7 sports, but we did not have facility. And for that matter, we had to reduce it to 3 sports. And you can also attest to the fact that Benaya is here. They had to travel all the way from Accra to Weja for a basketball competition. we did not have the facilities for any multi-purpose sport, multi-sport activity. We did not have facilities. But now, it's a great investment that the nation has done, and the nation is going to reap from it. One, organizing of international events can now be done by most of the federations under the Ghana Olympic Committee, and also most of the federations under the Ghana Paralympic Committee. You realize that when I started, I encouraged the government to build hostels at the Boteman enclave or at the Boteman stadium, at least attach it to the games venue. As soon as that is done, we will have a lot of inflow of competition, conferencing, and a lot of activities being held there. When we are able to plan well, it is going to generate more funds to be able to be used to manage the facility. When we don't think along that line and wait that the construction of the stadium should be done, and wait that the construction of the university should be done before all these things, we will definitely come back here and be discussing the way the media have been talking about the stadiums, the Accra Stadia, Tamale, and Takoradi. We really need to think now the government should invest in things that will make us keep Boteman as green as it is today.
Well, so this issue of maintenance is one that has raged on, with all our other facilities. So it is by no surprise that you are hammering on that, because that's the thing that we're all going to be looking at, very particularly the Boteman Sports Complex, which has cost us quite an arm and a leg, to get this done. All right, now let's start zooming in on a few other things regarding, the games. Let's talk about, the pace at which some of the countries in Africa are also developing their own personal infrastructure to make them world-class and to make their people benefit adequately from these. Now, in terms of the social impact, what are you also expecting of Boteman? And I'll still stick with Boteman for now. Boteman, it's quite a bit of a drive in terms of the number of minutes.
As we speak, Boteman, look at the flats around Boteman.
Very good.
The road network to the flats are being done by Oswald.
Okay.
And if you go there, that place is now booming. On the stretch of the road, you see there are new apartments being built.
Very well.
And I know all of them are going to be used for Airbnb accommodation facility. So you can see that social activities are now booming. In fact, some of us have used the road when the road was not tarred. Most of the time, we want to use shortcut to go and do business, to go move to the other side or come to the other side. But in the few months after September, I've come to realize that even the citizenry, the people, the neighbors around the Boteman facility enclave themselves have started investing into painting of their buildings, putting their houses in shape, getting ready. And a lot of them, I can tell you, over 800 of them have sent proposals to the head of the accommodation of the LOC, telling them that they have accommodation available, and they are being factored into the pool for requests. And there are Ghanaians who will be traveling outside of the region to Accra, and it's going to boom. It's going to boom. It's going to help the neighbors around the place. And I think that it's a good thing. We should all look at trying not to make the place look for residential, not to be so much of a residential only, but we can bring other activities around to make sure that at least if you go to Boteman, you can talk of a big cinema, you can talk of that, you can talk of this. All this can be a vision, something that the government can think of to try to make the area somehow look like the way we all talk about East Legon. Better restaurants should be there, because I don't think now there is the easy transportation to go there. But I know before the games or after the games, there will be transportation system that will be very effective in the area. But the social aspect of it, I can say, it's already booming even when the games hasn't started. The lands are the land price has gone up, I'm told, I'm told that rents are being increased. People have started shouting and making noise about landlords and how they want to take advantage of the area. All these are part of the things that people are going to benefit. They have also suffered because the construction alone, dust and all that. But I can say that it's good. It's really good, yeah.
All right. Now, let's look at the whole complex nature of running a system, that is going to serve different venues, some scattered away from each other, some like 2 hours drive from the capital. How would all of that be managed? I mean, having this very big pool of vehicles, we talked about it earlier, and we're looking at the general coordination and effectiveness and efficiency. That is what we're, from the side of the fans, that's what we're looking at.
I'm not in charge of the fans, but we have tried to consider them in our decision making. And that is why, in the wisdom of the Transport Sub-Committee and the LOC, and that of the ministry, we contracted Ayalolo to help us do a special shuttle between the venues of the games, so that at least Ghanaians wouldn't be left out. We are looking at taking a decision, and I know the ministry will help us take a very clear decision on whether the transportation to the venues people have to pay or whatever, but we'll come out with something simple for the people. The only thing that is different is the games that will be held in Cape Coast. And because the female teams of the countries who are the participating country, which includes Ghana, they'll be given a bus each, like the way the football tournaments are held. And we will have officials of CAF being given vehicles, officials of the LOC who will be operating from there will be given vehicles. So that place will be purely one event tournament, sort of like the CAF kind of tournament, football tournament that we've been doing. So there will not be enough stress when it comes to that responsibility. But the main work, which is the other 28 sports, are all based in Accra. And we are going to be transferring them within the 10 facilities that we have earmarked for competitions.
Now, obviously, in the next couple of days, we're going to be seeing a lot of movements from the airport to various hotels for teams to settle down and then start their training as well. How is that going as well?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think with this question, it then leads me to announce to the general public, to let them know that the airport is going to get busy. Currently, we are expecting not less than 9,800 visitors through Kotoka Airport. 9,800. And
for these games?
For these games. And these are people who are directly involved in the games. These are people who are directly involved in the games. They are not outside the games, they are accredited officers of the games. And for that matter, there will be bus shuttling between the Kotoka Airport to the Games Village and designated hotels, according to what the data that we are collating at the moment through the accreditation system. The good news is that the government of the Republic of Ghana, the Ghana Immigration Service, headed by lawyer Eswatachi, and through the hard work of the Honorable Sports Minister, Honorable Mustafa Yusuf, have given a gratis visa to all accredited officers of the games. So if anyone is a US citizen and requires a visa, as soon as that person is given accreditation, he or she is now granted a gratis visa. All you need to do is to buy your ticket, get an accreditation confirmation, and that confirmation letter signed by the Immigration and the Honorable Minister for Youth and Sports, as attached in the accreditation confirmation. You go to the airport, you are in the flight, you are in Accra. At the airport, the immigration are going to give us a dedicated immigration dispatch, where as soon as you arrive, you just go to the immigration and they will just let you go. You will not go and wait as a foreigner who doesn't have a visa and will have to wait at the visa on arrival desk for many hours. We want it to be very swift. We know the time of every country that is arriving based on the reports and information given to us on the accreditation portal. And for that matter, we are expecting a very big number of around 9,800 thereabouts. If it increases, we already know we were expecting about 13,000 outside guests. But as we speak, because of the sports and the time and the non-Olympic nature of some of the sports, it has really reduced the numbers to about 9,800. And for that matter, there will be a lot of traffic at the airport between the period of 27th February to the period of 5th of March. So we will ask our Ghanaian citizens to please give us some attention, give us some encouragement during this time. We do not want to have any confusion with any road user. They should appreciate the fact, because you have seen it before, that when Ghanaians hear a police siren trying to ask for ways because of our normal political road users, the people in government, when they use one Land Cruiser, you see police in Ghana. So, but we are pleading to Ghanaians that they should please, this one, these are foreigners who are here. You don't need to take them through stress. As some of us, we do benefit when we go. Whenever I travel to any other country during competitions, I'm given a Land Cruiser, I'm given a VIP vehicle, and I don't stay in traffic. I move within minutes, I'm at the venue. I'm given that VIP treat. It's part of the conditions of the protocol agreement that Ghana signed, that we are going to provide such kind of services to the people of other nations who are visiting for the games.
There are other subcommittees, and we'll be focusing on them as we go along and as we look ahead to the big opening ceremony itself. We're wrapping up the conversation gradually, but now we are done with the infrastructure. Now we need to deliver as well.
Yeah.
And obviously, hopefully, based on that, the next host will be able to pick on some of the positives from here. Now, in all of this, from your end, on a personal level, I mean, you've been involved in such endeavors for some time now.
Yeah.
Personally, I mean, how much fulfillment do you feel getting this exhibit, especially as we do know that we almost probably even lost the bid to host this?
It's not that we lost. It was a confusion and understanding of the English language.
Okay.
Sometimes some of us, I don't know why we should fight on just one word, owners of the games. It's clear that the African Union are the owners of the African Games. Now, that confusion between ANOCA, UCSA, it was just a power play. And that was the main reason why that caused the delay with regards to the preparation towards the games. That caused a very big delay with regards to taking decisions by the LOC. I have heard some people trying to read meanings to those delays to be lack of funding. It is never true that the government hasn't given funds to the LOC. There is no single request by the LOC that the government should do this or that, and hasn't been done. The issue is about uncertainty, whether that confusion which existed for over a year and 3 months could lead to a withdrawal of one body. And as soon as one party withdraws, there is no competition in Ghana. If, let's say, the Association of the African Olympic, ANOCA, the Association of National Olympic Committees, ANOCA, decided that they were going to withdraw, even if Ghana hosts it, the Ghana Olympic Committee will not allow its sports to participate. If UCSA, who are the leaders and the head who manages the Association of the Sports Confederations, also had decided to withdraw from the games, which sports are we going to watch during the games? If AU had also withdrawn from the games, which government is going to sponsor its sports confederation or its sports team to attend these games. So the president of the land, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, did so well. The wisdom of the minister to involve the president in this conversation was the best to happen to us. If the minister had sat down and watched the situation within his own control to try to resolve it, because I am very much aware and I have so much knowledge of the conversation. The Minister of Sports of Nigeria was part of the conversation. Coventry from Zimbabwe, the minister. There were a lot of government ministers who were involved in this conversation to try to bring sanity to this, to resolve this matter. But it took the president of the land to fly to Addis Ababa to bring all parties together so that one word, owner of the game, can be resolved. Even when the president had gone to resolve it, the wording changing a lot also took us about a month to be able to change the documents and put things at the right place. All these are part of the reasons why the LOC was seen not working. It's always like that. It's like owing rent and being at court with your landlord and knowing that your landlord is going to evict you. If the tap is not working, it will be very difficult for you to say that you want to fix it, even if you have the means to do that. So we want the public to understand that it's not late. We are doing our best to make sure that we beautify Accra, we do the best of games for the entire Africa, and Ghana will stand to benefit as the history will be written that yes, we did it before. 30 years will come, the young ones of today will say, yes, those who did it before, they really did well for us. And by that time, we'll have many of the facilities being built by the government, and a lot of sports business enterprises will now focus on Ghana and want to invest. As you are aware, Morocco, Egypt, and all are getting the same corporate entities who sponsor even FIFA, who sponsor UEFA in their countries. When you talk of Visa, you talk of Pepsi, Coca-Cola, you talk of all the big brands, Samsung, they are investing in those countries because the facilities are there, the events are there, and all that. Ghana, we are getting closer. With this Botema facility, I can say that we are getting closer to that particular level.
Well, Mr. Deen, thank you so much for the time. We sure are going to make time to do some more, as much as time will permit us, in looking ahead to it. But obviously, a very insightful conversation about the transportation element of putting together this tournament. Well, so a final word to Ghanaians, and for that matter, those who will be following this and those who have also had many questions to ask of government for providing this kind of infrastructure for us for years.
Yes, for me, I first of all want to start from the President of the Republic and say a very big thank you to him for what he has done for us. When I say us, I mean we in the sports industry. We are most grateful to him, but sir, we still want more. We want you to construct a 400-bed accommodation at Botema. We still want you to make sure that your government delivers the Olympic Stadium for us at Botema. Very well-built conference halls at Botema. We are happy with what we have done so far. One of the best in the region. In West Africa, I would say we are number one. Second, I would say a big thank you to the Honorable Minister for Youth and Sports for working with us as a servant of the President and the people of the Republic of Ghana. Sir, we salute you and respect your style. Next, I would say the LOC, my colleague, the chairman, the executive chairman, Dr. Kwaku Fusuasari. You are doing your best, and I would say, sir, continue to do your best. For us and myself, I will always be available to serve the people of the Republic of Ghana. For the road users, for Ghanaians, I'll plead with you. Join us. Let us positively promote Ghana. And doing this, we all have to come to the table with the mindset of a national service. This time, it's a national service call. Thank you very much.
Thank you, too. A national service course, indeed. This is a moment that Ghana needs to, put something very major out there, considering the fact that Ghana is hosting this for the very first time in its history, in terms of sport. So we'll be doing some more in terms of bringing you the personalities behind the various operations under the local organizing committee of the Africa Games, so that we build up well to the opening ceremony on March 8th. Thank you all so much for watching. There's more that we'll be bringing you in terms of the big interviews and the analysis as well on this channel and on all of our other platforms. Thanks to the whole production team, and you always keep it here. Thanks to Mr. Samson Deen, once again, the president of the African Paralympic Committee, local head of the Paralympic Committee here in Ghana, and also the president or the chair or the lead for the Transportation Sub-Committee of Africa Games 2023 in Accra. My name is Nathaniel Attoh, and I have love for sport.